with this video, we are on to, I think I'm going to make this as the last video that covers chapter 14 and 15 together, because chapter 15 is quite short. Chapter 14 is not that big either, so one video is going to be good enough. Chapter 14, I'm going to talk about personal selling and sales promotion. And as I gave you an overview of the personal selling in the last video, um, it's a personal presentation by the firm's sales force to the potential customers and building customer relationships. Pretty straightforward. This happens to be quite an expensive thing to do because it costs a lot of money to hire, train, and use salespeople. Now, you must have noticed that personal sales is not used for just about any and all products. It's used quite selectively for products that are technically complex, so to say, that require a lot of information from customers, and also products that are not actively sought by customers and require some selling effort from companies. So it is kind of like an expensive thing. It is not something we see it happening for convenience goods, for products that we purchase on daily basis and consume them without much planning, so to say. Now, when it comes to salespersons, salespeople come in a number of different shapes and forms. I'm not talking about their personal characteristics, but the kind of work they do is the aim here. So the very basic of salespersons that are employed by some companies are basically what we call order takers. What they do is their products are pretty well accepted in the market. And these salespeople do the very basic. They go and take the orders. Everything is kind of like on autopilot. They don't have to do much. And it's the kind of, easiest and simplistic form of selling activity. You know, creative selling is where you try to find a solution for your potential customers. Your customers may not know how to use the product and what it can do for them. You do it as a salesperson for them. And then comes this social selling, which is you try to create a kind of like and a relationship. It just builds into the next one, uh, that you sell in a way where you understand your target customers or market, and you try to sell them not just kind of passively but actively, and try to sell things where you not only try to get the order, but you maintain an ongoing social and long-term relationship with your customers. So salesperson is a kind of, be it a business buyers or regular consumers, is the critical link between company and the customers, or buyer and sellers. And they, as the slide says, they coordinate marketing and sales between two companies. Okay, so companies on this side, sellers, buyers on this side, and salespeople are bringing them together. So when it comes to managing sales force, it's a series of steps. It's a process that a company has to think very carefully and try to plan what kind of customers they have and what kind of salespeople they need to have, what purpose salespeople will fulfill, and how to use them. So it starts with designing sales force strategy and structure. What kind of salespeople, how many, when, where, which area, geographical area, which particular product they will be hiring to sell, will handle. And then recruiting and selecting salespeople. Now, selling is not a very simple job, I must tell you. Selling requires a lot of motivation. It requires a lot of planning. It requires a lot of, in many cases, traveling. And it requires a bit of thick skin because selling is something where you may get rejection quite often than one would think. And salespeople have to be very highly motivated. They are not like simply go and hire somebody and they take the orders. It does not happen most of the times. And people have this perception that sales job is the least glamorous, least desirable kind of, job to be in. There is often, I have seen ridicule. What do you do? You are a car salesperson, and the worst people like to say is that you are a used car salesperson, as if there is a lot of stigma associated with that. So hiring the right kind of people, breaking the social mold, and encouraging people to do their work, it all is important, and it's part of the training. The what How you're going to train, and then compensating salespeople. Compensation is an important part for sales force. Typically, there are two components to sales force salaries. One is fixed salary, another is commission. In some cases, only a fixed salary is paid. There is no commission, no matter how many units, how much you sell. The commission part, on the other hand, can be attractive, but there are very few companies where there is only commission. It's basically, it makes you an agent. You remember from the last chapter, we talked about agents and brokers. If you're representing a company, you're not getting any fixed salary. A salesperson may represent many different companies. Okay, that can be an arrangement. There are some people who sell more than one particular product. So usually, if you're a full-time salesperson with a company, you will have two parts to salary. Certain amount of fixed income that you will get whether or not you sell anything, however much you sell, and then commission based on the more you sell, more commission you get. We see these kind of salespeople everywhere. And then supervising and evaluating salespeople. So very specialized topic. And I think there is a course on Salesforce, personal selling at Acadia as well. So these are the steps. It's an important series of steps where companies have to understand how to create, structure, design, train, compensate, supervise their salespeople. So taking a bit more in-depth look at these steps, orientation. Some salespeople are hired to focus on a geographical area, territorial. Some are hired to focus on a particular product that you will sell, Mazda cars. And some are hired to focus on customers, that you will sell Eastlink products to this particular set of customers, businesses, okay, or small businesses, large businesses, corporate, and then some are a combination of these things. And the sales force can be very big or few. It depends on company's structure, design, desire. And then it can be outside sales, that you go out and sell. Inside sales, you sit and do your business, take orders on the telephone. And the other thing about selling is team selling. Typically, we think about salespeople as one person, lone wolf kind of thing, going out and selling things. That is not true. In some cases, it is team selling activity that is important. So, as I said, selling is not an easy thing. Salespeople should be intrinsically motivated, disciplined, have certain social skills to build relationships, and the ability to put the hammer down and say, let's sign the deal, purchase this. And then what we have training. Different companies, depending upon their size, structure, resources, have different kind of training programs. They might have seminars, and special goals, special programs, training in-house, training, sending salespeople to some specialized courses from different business programs. In many cases, some business schools have arrangements with large companies where that company's salespeople go to that particular school for training. And as I mentioned, the salary can be fixed or variable, and then some companies pay your expenses, and in some cases, you get fringe benefits. Every kilometer you travel on your vehicle, you get paid something. There are different kind of incentives. So uh, the compensation structure varies from company to company, industry to industry. And then what we have supervising. When I worked in my very first job as a salesperson, every day in the evening we had to complete a report and give it to our supervisor, or complete it very first thing next morning and give it to them. Keep track of everything, which clients, customers you visited, file detailed reports. What did you do? How did you approach? What did you accomplish? What was the outcome? And how I was spending my time, energy, and what was the goal, what goals I was achieving, be they weekly, monthly, annual goals. So it depends on the organization how they want to do it, but seldom will you see a sales position where you are asked to do something and you said, okay, go and do what you want to do. It doesn't work this way. There is strict controls. And then evaluating salespersons. All these reports these days they are automated. So anytime you file a report, anytime you know submit your claims, and everything is evaluated by the computer. Your time, your efficiency, your um, resources, how they're being used, they are continuously evaluated. And then it is very important for sales managers to give constructive feedback, what can and should be done to improve the performance of a salesperson. So, as I said, it's not usually a very simple job. It can be taxing, and especially in retail environment where you want to deal with retail customers, sometimes I really feel sorry for some of these people who are in the retail, because customers can be very demanding, and worse, they can be rude. That's not an easy thing to achieve. Okay, so need constructive feedback, but at the end of the day, salespeople need to be self-motivated. So selling digitally online, that's the trend where technology is used. There are a lot of different websites where companies collect all the information about different industries, markets, and salespeople can use those bits and pieces of help. Now, how do you go about undertaking this selling process? Well, there are again series of steps, 7 of them right here. It starts with prospecting and qualifying. Okay, I'm just looking for something. So here, prospecting and qualifying. So if you're a salesperson, how this works is that you might be given a
market data connection lost.
You might be given a market, that this is the market you have to sell to. You might be given a geographical area that sell to this area, be they individual or business customers. But you need to do some homework, and the homework includes prospecting and qualifying. Okay, prospecting is preparing a list of some database of your prospective customers, that who is likely to purchase it. Now go back to chapter 1 where we talk about the definition of market. What is a market? All your current and potential customers. And when does it become in demand? When they're all current and potential customers' needs and wants are backed by their ability to purchase something. So prospecting and qualifying is, let's say if I'm selling Ferrari cars in Nova Scotia, So I would like to make a list of all the rich people, right? And then I will have to see uh, which ones I can qualify. Some might already have an expensive car, others might not be interested in one, and some might be just waiting for somebody to come and initiate them into that. So it takes a lot of legwork, so to say, to let me close this window that has popped up. So not only it is important that you know which area, what kind of customers you want to sell to, you have to have a good idea when they are going to purchase, especially for business customers. Let's say if somebody wants to sell computers to Arcadia, salespeople need to know, when did Arcadia purchase computers last time, 2 years ago? How frequently do they purchase? Every 4 to 5 years? What did they purchase last time? What was their criteria? You need to stay on top of everything. So for any market, you will have to prospect and qualify. And then there is a pre-approach. Pre-approach is usually try to initiate a contact with your customers. If it is consumer product, try, make a phone call. And when it comes to business product, you could pick up the phone, send an email to purchasing manager and ask questions. And when are you next time likely to purchase? And then approach. Approach is when you actually do your homework and you understand the needs and wants of your customer, and you make a final approach with your proposal. Then you, in business setting, you are pre-selected. Pre-selected in the sense that businesses purchase things periodically, every 3 years, 2 years, every 6 months, whatever the time period may be. At that time, these business buyers, what they will do is they will solicit um, proposals. That it could be something like Arcadia is interested. It could be newspaper, or it could be there are websites where companies post their proposals. Arcadia is interested in purchasing somewhere between 150 to 250 personal computers, and we are soliciting proposals from different computer vendors, and some detail about what kind of machines might be useful. And then companies approach, talk to the, and then selected vendors come and make presentation, demonstrate the product, and talk to the buying committee. And sometimes in the consumer setting, the same kind of thing happens. Let's say somebody's selling vacuum cleaners. They will call the household and say what they're selling. And if accepted, they will come to the house and present the product, make a demonstration, and door-to-door selling it happens. And a key part of presentation and demonstration is handling objections. Objection here is not all in the negative sense. Objection is more like somebody might have a question and say, hey, how does this product, what if we did this? What if we did not do that? What if, whatever what if is, it is answered. And if everything goes right, then there is a closing. And closing here means that you sign on the dotted lines, sign the agreement, or pay order, payment is made. And once the product has been sold, shipped, used, installed, follow-up is very important thing, because salespeople often don't do that. They think their goal is just to sell. And we have seen it over and over that selling just something mechanically to a company, a customer, is very elementary thing. What companies expect is to have loyal customers, and to have loyal customers, you have to follow up. You have to go to the customers and clients and talk to them and say, how are you doing? How was the product? How we can improve it? What different things we can do? So that is the sequence of the person selling process. So person selling equals managing relationship. Not all person selling is managing relationships, but selling, should be relational. Traditional selling is that you just go want to sell something, and relationship selling is where you listen to customer, tell them what is the right product, and then tell them what they should purchase, and so on and so forth. That is, everything is customer centric, and you do things to give your customers the best possible option they are looking for. Now, the second topic in this chapter is that of sales promotion. I described it to you in my last video what sales promotion is. Sales promotion is a short-term incentive to encourage purchase of something and change some kind of behavior on the part of market. So changing behavior doesn't mean we want them to, excuse me, that we want market to just do something which is irrelevant. So it means if you were purchasing once a month, change in behavior expectation would be that you purchase as it suits the company, which could be purchase every week or purchase every 2 weeks. If somebody was brushing their teeth once a day, then change in behavior could be, here is a promotion. If you purchase more of toothpaste and use it twice a day, you will get 30% discount. So that is the change in behavior that we are talking about, and the associated expectations that go with that. My dog is trying to get my attention. So sales promotions, as I said in the last video, can be targeted at consumers or at the businesses, right? So do you remember which is pull strategy, which is pull push strategy? You have to know that. So sales promotions can be targeted at end consumers, intermediaries, and sometimes at the salespeople to encourage them to sell more. So we discussed about that in the last class. And what kind of things are incentives to each party? So consumers, the idea is to get them to purchase more frequently, consume product in larger quantity, or switch to a particular brand. And trade partners are what we call trade or intermediaries. The idea is to increase the store traffic sometimes, and sometimes we want to have a particular brand relationship, get more shelf space. And salespeople is to, companies have these kind of things. A person who sells most number of cars in a year, sometimes they're sent to Las Vegas to attend some conference or something, and trip for two to Bahamas. Those kind of promotions are very frequently offered. There are a number of different kind of sales promotions that are offered. For example, sample, try the product, coupon that you get 20% off, rebate is price reduction after the purchase. You fill out the form and send it. And price packs, buy one, get one. Premium, you get large quantity, premium size, floor cleaning, liquid detergent, promo products, article imprinted with company's name, clocks, t-shirts. Sometimes you purchase beer from some company, they will have a t-shirt, or they will have a hat, or they will have, gloves or something. And point of purchase, life-size cutouts of movie stars, usually not movie stars, but sports personalities. And then contest, sweepstakes, games, event marketing, sponsoring concerts. Tim Hortons is very big on sponsoring children's summer activities, winter skating, and those kind of things. They do that. So, and Red Bull in this example is very well known for sponsoring some of the highly, exciting kind of events. Now, you might have seen that this person went up in the sky stratosphere and jumped from there. And that was sponsored by Red Bull, and Red Bull video was made during that jump from the outer space. So some companies have that kind of thing. And trade promotions, discounts, price off invoice. If you purchase 2,000 units to sell, you'll get lower price and allowances, free goods. Push money is very big, that if you stock our product or you sell our product, we'll give you some push money. quotas are set. And then specialty advertising items, either to be displayed in the store. And many times there is, if you, I have seen many paint stores where outside the paint store will be Benjamin Moore sign about a particular paint shop, but that was supplied by that. And restaurants have Coca-Cola signs outside. So those are the specialty advertising items. And as I said, for salespeople, conventions, trade shows, sales contests, and these kind of things are organized to encourage salespeople so that they can sell more, do more. And when you're designing a sales promotion, in the last video I told you, you need to be careful that you don't offer something too predictably, too frequently. And number two, what you shouldn't do is you should not offer, number one, your sales promotion should not be offered too predictably, and it should not last for a very long time. Because if people know, your customers know that you're offering a sales promotion every 3 weeks, then they will wait to purchase for the third week. Not good. There should be some element of surprise. And if you offer your sales promotion for a very long period of time, then it may become not so attractive. People may say, it is there, we'll buy when we want to buy. And that is essentially seen as a reduction in price, not a sales promotion. There's no incentive, there's no excitement about that. So you have to think what size, what should be the conditions of participation. You want to cover the legal ground and how it will be distributed, spread, length of program, and how you're going to evaluate. Now, of all the promotional elements, how they are evaluated. Sales promotion is the activity that you can really evaluate and connect it to how much time, money, energy was spent and how the sales increased. Advertising, you cannot make that connection clearly, but when it comes to sales promotion, you can do that. Okay, so I think this is the end of the chapter number 14. And now we are going to jump to chapter number 15, okay? So give me a moment and I am going to upload the next chapter very, very quickly. And then I'll start from there, okay? Please give me one moment while I open the next chapter slides. So here is our chapter number 15, direct marketing, online social media, and mobile marketing. Now, we are going to cover only select topics from this chapter, okay? It is even shorter than the last chapter, so that's why I've combined chapter 14 and 15 together. So we are going to start with direct and digital marketing. Once again, as I described to you in the last class, last video, that direct marketing used to be called database marketing, which is that companies would prepare databases of their current and potential customers. And they would collect all kinds of data about customers, what they're purchasing, how they're purchasing, when, where, in what quantity, which store. Everything is collected. And now technology is all around us. So we don't call it database marketing. That is an old terminology. It is direct marketing. So what companies do is connecting directly with carefully targeted individual consumers to obtain an immediate response and cultivate long-term relationship. So the idea is that companies get to know, understand their customers very well right up front. And then what they do is they try to sell them or maintain an ongoing long-term relationship. So it's a kind of supplemental medium. Some companies really sell only to customers directly. Some don't, like companies like Chapters Bookstore. They have a store and then they sell it directly to customers through their website. But some companies exclusively focus on this, like Amazon and eBay. So again, depends on the shape, size, nature, structure of the company. And they have to decide how much of direct marketing they're going to get into. And you might remember when we talked about a couple of other things related to marketing channels, one of the things we talked about was disintermediation, right? So society is moving increasingly towards taking the intermediaries out, because one of the criticisms of intermediaries, recall chapter 3, social responsibility, that there are increased markups. So these markups are because of intermediaries. Every time manufacturer sells it to wholesaler, they want some money. Wholesalers sell it to retailers, they want to make some money. That's how it is. But if we can purchase things directly from a company, then we can many times purchase things at a lower price. The cost of doing business, overheads, and everything tends to be quite different. And then there is that aspect of loyalty and data collection of all kinds. So that's how direct marketing is, envisioned. It's a very big industry, just as big. You can look at any numbers. I mean, here are, billions and billions, 8 billion, 51 billion, depending upon which particular market. And many of my Chinese students would know that there is Singles Day sales, and every year, previous year's record is broken, because in few hours they sell tens of billions dollars worth of things from Alibaba and many other different websites in China. So direct marketing is a very powerful tool that companies have. It has buyers benefits for both buyers and sellers. Pretty straightforward thing. Take a look at this slide. Convenient, easy, greater control. You shop when you want to shop. You can do a lot of comparative shopping, availability to all. There, nobody knows who is buying. So immediate, interactive, builds customer relationship, benefit to sellers, low cost, flexibility, handle, and you keep collecting all kind of data. So there are a lot of different kinds of digital marketing tools apart from direct marketing. And as I said, mentioned it to you a few times in the previous video, that we use 5 different elements of promotional mix in this textbook. In some textbooks, they refer to 6. The 6th one is online marketing, e-marketing, digital marketing, social media marketing. That's what we are discussing. So websites, email, and everything. And then traditional direct marketing is face-to-face. The idea is to build direct customer engagement, community trust. So some companies are, as I said earlier, just focused on direct marketing. Some use traditional, and there are a lot of different ways. Now, the direct traditional marketing, it used to be catalog-based, direct mail, telemarketing, direct response, and some TV shopping channel, like in Canada, TSC, it is there. But these days, internet, mobile marketing, different websites, emails, they're supposed to achieve the same goal: build direct customer engagement and community. Okay, so this is one example. Digital and social media marketing. People follow different companies, and some of these companies have very clever social media programs. And this is an example that when this particular game was going on, basketball game, there was a power failure in the stadium, and Oreo right then and there sent a tweet. And the tweet said, you can still dunk in the dark. Dunking means dipping, and that's how we eat Oreos. Typically, we are told that we take Oreo cookie, dunk it in the cold milk, eat it. So in real time, companies are undertaking marketing. And multi-channel marketing, as I said earlier, companies are not just relying on traditional stores. They're using direct marketing too. Some companies do that. You go to Staples website, you can buy things from online, or you can go to their store. Same thing with Walmart. I was on Walmart's website, and I was curious what kind of products they sell. And it was fascinating to see that Walmart sells through other affiliate sellers Rolex watches, 40,000, 50,000. So uh, nobody will go to a Walmart store looking for a Rolex watch, but it is possible to have affiliate vendors on Walmart's website who can sell these expensive luxury items. So multi-channel facilitates that. Now, when it comes to online marketing, there is whole universe out there. It's a new world, so to say. There is marketing websites, companies have their website, branded community websites. The idea is to provide information to customers to educate them. Selling is not the main goal. So, Pampers, the diaper company, had their website. They were not trying to sell diapers on that website. What they were doing was dealing with issues that new mothers face. So that became very, very successful. Okay. And online advertising, if you think about advertising, online advertising is a bit different. I just, notice that anytime you go to a website, based on my browsing history, there are specific targeted advertising messages, be they on the bar, on side of something or some. I have blocked all the pop-ups, so I don't get any pop-up window open. But that's how online advertising works. So online advertising is way more cheaper than the traditional advertising, much, much cheaper, because the cost of media is not there. Typically, a company would spend hundreds of thousands of dollars each time they had a 30-second advertisement on a major TV network. But these days, I go to YouTube and I see some companies have 2 minute long commercial. How cheap it is, and some companies had much longer. Now, this particular airline, Virgin Airlines, they had this commercial, what they call blah airline or airways, something like that, where they mimicked through dummies and other kind of, well, there were dummies sitting in the plane, a flight, that how boring or blah it is to fly from New York to Los Angeles, coast to coast. And that whole commercial shows the experience of somebody flying through regular airline. And the commercial, it's 5.5 hours long. That is the total length of the flight from New York to LA. And the whole commercial is kind of showing. I don't know if somebody has seen the whole thing, but go to Google and or YouTube and search for blah airlines. I think another airline has done something similar too. So time is not a limit, and the cost of showing advertisements is low. You can have much longer advertisement. Companies have their own YouTube channels where they share way more than advertisement. So it's a very exciting new world where companies have their advertisements and online marketing taking place. Viral marketing, we all know about that. And every now and then we see something from some company that goes viral, which is that people talk about that. You just might know about many examples. I know about quite a few different examples, and viral marketing is very interesting. Companies want their product, their brand, their everything to be talked about. So viral marketing is like diffusion of innovation that we talked, the curve. Innovator, early adopter, early majority, late majority. That how do these messages spread in a country or society? That's the challenge. So viral marketing is pretty much like the virus. Ironic and unfortunate that we are going through a big virus. So marketers who want to study how viral videos spread, they have also tried to understand how virus spreads. Okay, so that is the name viral marketing. So companies are trying to create buzzword, the short video, TikTok, and this and that, where people make a product, use a video, use a product, whatever it may be about a company, that the goal is to have people share, talk, and move it forward. And other kind of online marketing blogs and other social media, independent commercial online. Now I have seen tons of different YouTube channels where people evaluate new products, be they computers, smartphones, toys, bicycles, motorcycles, cars, kitchen appliances. There are channels and blogs and vlogs on, cooking, clothing, detergent powders, you name it. And the social media is there. Now, it's interesting. There are some social media channels, YouTube channels, where I see these people, they have like 15, 20 million followers or subscribers. Huge. And many times I have seen this guy who reviews new technology all the time. The other day, he was interviewing Bill Gates, and before that, he interviewed senior management from Apple. I was kind of thinking how commercial it has become. Rather than going to a TV channel, these big billionaires are going to this guy's show. Now, think about that, because they are powerful. They, in the sense, bloggers with 20, 15 million subscribers, they can move the market, they can spread the word around. Social media, that's what it is. And social media marketing advantages and challenges. It's targeted, personal, interactive, immediate, cost-effective. Engagement is there. Still experimental, largely user control. You cannot force me to watch your video if I don't want to. If I don't like it, I'll click and move away. You can't do anything, okay? And that is the drawback, very big drawback. So that's how it is. So social media is social. I control it. And mobile marketing, I mean, I rely on my smartphone a lot too. And anytime I'm in a store, I'm looking for something. I have downloaded quite a few different apps. If I'm looking for a book, I'll scan the UPC code on the book and see where it is available, at what prices, and all that. And many times I make my grocery list using Costco app. And anytime any product that I put on my list to purchase, Costco has any sale going on, sales promotion, they will right away highlight that and say savings and next to it. And I click on that, there are coupons there. So mobile marketing is within social media is the new world, because here we are carrying a computer in our hands or our pocket that has not only information that we personally need, but commercially, companies can send us all the information. And there are pros and cons of direct mail marketing. Pros: largest, direct, rich, not environmental friendly, in decline due to new digital formats. If you send a printed catalog to somebody, it's environmentally not friendly. And what you print in there is going to stay there. You cannot change it. Digital catalogs, by contrast, can be modified, changed, made interactive. You can have so many different versions of the digital catalog for each different area. Sky's the limit. So digital marketing is taking that. And catalog marketing, I just mentioned to you, that's part of direct marketing. It is there. Telemarketing is going down and down and down because people don't have traditional home telephone lines. And there are government regulations. If you put your name and telephone number on the no call list, then nobody's supposed to call you. No, I mean, not nobody. At least the commercial companies or telemarketers are not supposed to call you. Okay. So these days, when you get your telephone, or let's say mobile phone is your main phone, you don't share it with anyone. So once or twice I got call on my mobile phone trying to sell me something. I said, no, just take me off your list and please don't call me again on my mobile phone. Not acceptable. They immediately tried to do that. So telemarketing is almost dead industry, but still used. Calls can be outbound selling. Companies have call centers. They call potential customers, and sometimes people want to place an order, that is inbound calling. And then direct response, TV spots, you have, home shopping channels. I described those to you earlier. Kiosk marketing is another thing. Companies set up kiosks. Kiosks used to be just limited to sandwiches, candies, chocolates, or carbonated, or what we call soft drinks. But now you see kiosks vending machines for just about anything and everything. Okay, high-end electronics, like if you're looking at airports, you're looking for some kind of headphone, Bose or something, you can buy that. And at the local airport, I noticed there was a kiosk vending machine for borrowing a book. Okay, it's a kind of portable library where you could borrow a book while you're flying. Okay, so that's how it is. Now, public policy and ethics, there are quite a few challenges out there. There's a lot of fraud, unfairness. Today, I got a call from some company saying that they could reduce my monthly bills by 40% if rather than me paying the bill, I let them pay and I pay them. Yeah, right. Fraud. Okay. So security is an issue. It's annoying, deceptive, privacy, viruses, computer viruses, and all kind of things. They are pretty bad. So there are a lot of different issues related to a society's well-being and proper functioning. And some of these companies, new technologies, don't care for that. All they want to do is just make the money. Okay. So this is the whole class. We have finished our marketing, so to say, material. And this was the last chapter I was going to cover in the last slide. So what I'll do is be happy to answer any question you might have when we meet online. All right, guys. So thank you. Have a good one. And I will see you soon.